Okay, today all eyes are on the Mideast as the U.S. and Iran prepare for a new round of peace talks after the president paused a plan for strikes, which he claims would have been the biggest since World War II.
What we're doing is we're talking to them in a preliminary negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see if it's, I'd love to do that, save a lot of lives. The deal is eminent, having to do with the Hormuz Strait and also ultimately the demilitarization.
Retired Navy captain and former Pentagon official Brent Sadler joins us now. Great to see you this morning, Brent. So, the president says the negotiations are back on. Iran says, no, we're not talking to the United States. We're just talking to Oman about putting a toll system in the strait. What's the truth?
Well, I think both things are true. The United States is working with Oman, who's negotiating with Iran to try to reopen the Straits of Hormuz. But the Iranians are never really going to do it unless they're forced to open it. And so at the same time, we've got the military hammer that's ready to swing if it looks like the Iranians aren't going to deal with the Omanis.
So we've got, and predicting anything in this situation is very difficult, but we've got the midterms coming up in a couple of months. Do you, if you were a betting man on this, would you think that we eventually get back to kinetic strikes before the election?
Given the temperament of the Iranians, I think that's a foregone conclusion. There will be more strikes. The worst thing that can happen is for the United States to do nothing or to walk away, and Iran reconstitutes itself, and we are back in a fight in the Middle East again, and sometime down the road, maybe at less of an advantage.
What is the, is there anything, you make the very good point that only hard power makes Iran move. But is there any other negotiating tool? Is there any other lever out there that can manipulate the leaders of Iran into actually trying to arrive at peace?
Well, there's two. There's the economic lever that Secretary Bessent's been very effective at expanding and deepening the pain on the regime, and certainly should go after more aggressively all their foreign holdings and personal holdings, the IRGC members and the regime. I mean, of course, and then the other is the Iranian regime is fearful of their own people. Less than 10% support it. So any kind of movement to empower the people or information for the people there to understand what their government is doing and how to actually agitate against it, that's another thing that might move this regime.
Well, that's one of the frustrations from watching all of this from afar is that, we saw the protests at the beginning of the year. Obviously, the regime cracked down violently and brutally and killed tens of thousands of their own people. But we have not seen a similar uprising. Have they all been killed, or is that something that we might actually see inside Iran?
There's probably a little bit of fear about another crackdown. Also, the fact that they may be waiting to see what the United States' next move is. Are we going to be a reliable partner, someone that's going to provide support in the moment of their need if they do rise up again? So a lot of questions on their side, and this is where engaging the opposition overseas and trying to get more information into and out of Iran is going to be key.
Right. Brent Sadler, as always, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.